Hi there and welcome to Scrap and Coffee. I'm continuing with the Darcelle Folio. So in the last video we've completed the construction of the page and we attached the page onto our spine in the cover. So now we have to make our front and back inside covers, and we are going to start on the front inside cover. So don't place this too far away because we're going to need it. But I've prepared the pieces and we are going to start with a large pocket. That's piece L. So score lines on 3 sides, tape on the dented side, and I'm going to miter the corners where the score lines meet. So a nice large pocket for larger photos, or maybe a small booklet. You can put several things in there. I haven't the cutting guide. It's available on my website, scrapandcoffee.com. It doesn't provide the measurements for photo mats, etc., but I can update it when I know the measurements for it. Okay, so back to our cover and our piece L. We will place it on our inside cover with the opening to the outside of the cover, and I do that with reason, so when you open up the book that everything stays in that pocket. Oh, you stay over there for a second. So I'm going to turn my cover around because I'm going to line up the pocket right here, and make sure that you stay away about 1/8 of an inch from your gusset of your spine, of the spacing that you have between the front cover and the spine. You want to stay 1/8 of an inch away from it, and you will have space 1/8 on top and bottom. So just like that. So I'm just going to remove all the tape backing and just go however you feel comfortable going. You can also just remove it piece by piece. Or when you use wet glue, you can use wet glue. So I'm just lining up. That's what I normally do. I just line up one corner where I want it and then go to the other corner and then work my way to the top and burnish it, and make sure that you don't want to have it too tight on there. It's pretty tight already, but you want to be able to put stuff in there. So, and with a larger pocket sometimes it can be pretty tight. At least this one is pretty tight. So okay, let's turn it back around. I'm just placing the letter so you can read it, but I'm going to cover it up because now we are going to piece L and piece M, and piece M is going to be a belly band. So you have score lines on the top and the bottom and tape on the dented side. You are going to fold and burnish on the score lines, and then optional you can do the what I'm going to do right now. Yeah, you can just place it like this, and then you have a large belly band for larger photo mats underneath there. But I'm going to split it up. So I have piece M1. That's a smaller piece, and I've placed tape on one side on the dented side and on the other 1/2 inch on the bumpy side. So see how it's on the dented side it's on my right hand, and on the dented side it's on my left side. I'm going to fold on it and I'm going to taper one side. Well, let's taper both sides. It's not a big deal. And then I am, when you folded it on your score line, you will have, first we have to make a pencil mark, of course, where we want it. So let's open this piece up and find the middle, the center. And I am just going to make a little pencil mark on where is the center. And for me that's at 4 7/8. And I'm just drawing a line. You're not going to see it anyway, so don't worry about it. So now we folded on that small piece, and then on one side you will have tape showing, and you're just going to line up that your folded edge with that pencil mark and just place it on there. Make sure there is no overhang of your piece on your, you don't want to have overhanging on the belly band because then you will able to see it. Now if you have, and I'm really close to the edge, so I'm just cutting it a little bit shorter. So I'm pretty sure there's no overhang. So then I'm just removing the tape backing. And I'm going to line it up with that pencil mark. And small pieces can be a little bit difficult to get them where you want them. So I'm burnishing it. And I'm keeping it open just like that. So when I'm going to place the belly band, it's going to stick on top and bottom and on that middle part. And then you have a pocket here and a pocket here. So let's get it in the cover. Now we are going to place this on top of piece L, and it's up to you. How do you want it? Do you want it centered, or do you want to have it a little bit closer to the spine? And that's what I'm going to do. I want to show a little bit more of the pocket on my left. So I think I'm going for, I think it's 3/8 of an inch right here. So you will still be able to see it, but not so much. So I'm going to remove one side of the tape backing first, and I'm going to do that on the bottom. And then I'm just eyeballing it, and I have about 3/8 of an inch on my right side, and then lining it up on the bottom. Burnish that down. And then I'm going to remove the tape backing from that little hinge that we placed on the middle of the belly band, and on the top 1/2 inch flap. And then without pulling on it too much, but because again it will be pretty tight, just eyeballing it that I'm straight on there. You can make a pencil mark if you want. And just place it on there and also burnish it in the middle. So now this, let me see. You have that large pocket here. And we have a, does this fit? Doesn't even fit. Another one. Is this going to fit? Yep. So you have a 1, 2 openings in your belly band. So on top of this, we are going to place a waterfall. So I've cut pieces. Okay, I thought it was one piece short, but it was in between the other stuff. So 5 pieces for my waterfall. You could do 6, but I just like it when it's not going all the way to the bottom. So I just do 5, and it's going to fit exactly on your belly band. And that's going to help you to line it up as well. So I will advise you, when you are going to make this project and you use 12 by 12 cardstock, take 2 sheets and use the pinwheel technique to make pieces 7 by 5 inches. If you don't know what the pinwheel technique is, I will put a link on top to my scrappy basic video on cutting cardstock. And it's not the best video, but in there I am showing how the pinwheel works for 7 by 5 pieces. So you will save on cardstock by using it. So just do that with 2 sheets. You can make your waterfall pieces for it. You can use it on the piece that we are going to make on the backside cover, and also these pieces you can take out of there. So if you do it with 2 sheets, then you will save on cardstock. So we have our pieces N for the waterfall, and score lines on the top, tape on the dented side, and we are going to fold on all our score lines. can always be a little bit of a pain in the you know where to place your waterfall and have everything nicely lined up. And well, just don't be too hard on yourself, but also I have some tips that can help to get them more straight. So everything is folded and burnished. I'm just lying it to the side. I just like to work from left to the right, and I'm just going to start with the first piece. No tapering of our flaps, and I'm just placing it on here, lining it up at the top, and I'm going to see if everything flushes nicely with the edge of the belly band, and it does. So what I do is, like I do pretty often, is I'm just removing the tape backing partially. If you have wet glue, then of course you have some wiggle room, so you can use that to get it where you want it. So now, without pushing on the part where the sticky part is showing, I'm just lying it where I want it, and then where I have it where I want it, I'm pushing on it, making sure I keep it in place. And then I have my first piece on there. So now I will lay this open, get my second piece. I will place it up against that 1/2 inch that I just stuck down, but I'm not going to completely rely on it. What I want is, I want it to be flushed again with the belly band. And placing it on a piece like this really helps you to get it nice and straight. Then I'm closing up the first piece again and see if it fits, lines up nicely. So what I should have done is just remove the tape backing partially again. So now I'm doing a double, but that's okay. So again, placing it against that 1/2 inch, but don't rely on that 1/2 inch. Just see, does it line up with the belly band? And then when I close this, just holding it in place, does it line up how I want it? Yes, again, keep it in place. Stick and remove the tape backing. Open that piece up and then repeat. So now I'm going to remove the tape backing at the first step. Just placing it against there without sticking it down, lining it up with the edge of the belly band. Make that double check. Yes, it's where I want it. Keep it in place, stick it down. And sometimes that means that your 1/2 inch isn't completely straight. And using, when you do this with 65-pound cardstock, which is perfectly possible, but it can be a little bit harder because it's a little bit more flimsy. And this is 80-pound weight cardstock. It's just makes these sort of things easier. It's just cooperates with you a little bit better, I think, personally. So again, just make that check. And it moved, so again, I'm just placing it where I want it. That happens sometimes, and then you just, I'm quite confident that it's where I want it to be, so okay. Stick it down. Last one. Line it up with the belly band. Check it. Okay. Push it down, hold it, and remove the tape. So you see how you could just place one more and then you would be going to the edge of the belly band, but I like it. It's just 1/2 inch from the bottom now. So I'm not going to use any magnet. I think I will use some ribbon for the closure here. So I'm just going to leave it like this for now. So this is the front cover. A belly band, the waterfall, a belly band with 2 how do you call it, openings, and then a large pocket. On the back, here we are going to first make an attachment piece. So I'm just placing this to the side, and I will be needing piece O. Is it right? Yes, because that's cute. Yeah. So this is piece O. It has 2 score lines, and I'm going to fold on, well, mostly the second score line, but you can fold on both. But for now, fold on the second one. And with your folded edge, place it in front of you with the folded edge on your left. Then piece P, that's a pocket. So we are going score lines on 3 sides, tape on the dented side, and we are going to miter where the score lines meet. Fold and burnish on those score lines. And now we are going to place piece P, opening of the pocket to the top, folding on your piece O on your left, place it on the bottom, like that. And the tape backing is not cooperating. So I'm going to line up the right bottom corner. And placing it on here. Yes. So you line up the bottom edges and the edge here, the cut edge. You don't want to have any overhang there, so you line that up. And then you have that pocket on a flap. And then if you haven't folded on the first score line yet, you can do that right now. And then first we are going to place our pocket on the cover on the back side. So for that we are going to work with 3 pieces, but we are going to start with our piece Q. A large pocket again, score lines on 3 sides, tape on the dented side, and we are going to miter the corner to reduce the bulk. Fold always to the bumpy side unless I say otherwise. Make sure there is no overlapping. And then this piece is going on the back cover with the opening again to the outside. So again, you're going to line it up, staying away 1/8 of an inch from your spacing between the cover and the spine, and 1/8 of an inch on top and bottom. So I'm just placing it in the corner where I want it. So that one is on there. Now we are going to place this piece on top of that pocket, but first we are going to finish this, because we are going to make this stack pocket. So for that we have piece R, and we have score lines on 3 sides, tape only on the smaller edges, and we are going to cut on the 1/2 inch score line right here up to the score line that goes in that direction. And then we are going to cut that away at an angle, like that. And we are going to do the same thing on the other side. So no tape on this 1/2 inch. We are going to fold on these smaller score lines only. Here I have a little bit of overhang, so I'm just slightly cutting that away. And now I'm going to shove this piece into our piece Q, so you get a stack pocket here. So remove the tape from both sides. I'm sorry if I'm out of frame. And just shove it in there, and you will stop at the score line that we have on the bottom and just stick it on. And then we are going to give this a closure on top of piece Q, so it looks like an envelope. And for that we are going to use piece S. And piece S has one score line and tape on the dented side. We're going to make some pencil marks. So you're going to find the center of your piece, and that should be around 4 3/8. I thought it was, yeah, 4 3/8. You make a little tick mark there, a tick mark, and then you are making a tick mark. Let's turn my ruler around. 2 3/4 from your edge with the score line. So in this case, from the left to the right. I said 2 3/4, but this is 2 1/2. What did I do here? Let me check. Yeah, it should be 2 1/2. 2 1/2 inches. So when we place our piece, you are going to make a tick mark 2 1/2 inches from the side where the score line is, up to the other side. So in this case, from the left to the right at 2 1/2. And you are going to do the same thing right here. 2 1/2 from the side with the score line to the other side. And then we are going to connect that pencil mark that we made here on the center with that pencil mark on your side and connect them. Just like that. And then we are going to cut on those pencil lines. You can use scissors. I'm going to use a paper trimmer this time. I'm just lining up the pencil line with that iron thread that's going in the paper trimmer, and make the cut. And do that on both sides. And then this is what we get. Now you can make a template for your matting process. So you just get a piece of printer paper or scrap cardstock and just just trace it and then go 1 1/8 inch inwards. I'm just going to cut it. I will be fine, I think. What I will be doing is taper on that 1/2 inch. But making templates is actually very smart to do for your matting process. It can really makes that part easier. So remove pencil marks that you can still see where you think your pattern paper is not going to cover it. And then back to our cover. We are going to place it on top of piece R. Now, I tried placing it inside of piece R, and that's also a very good option. However, what I felt was when I wanted to put something in the pocket, No, I'm lying. I made it out of one piece, and then there was a lot of friction on the edges. So I placed my tape already, but it's a pretty good option to place it in piece R, and then you should place your tape on the bumpy side of your piece. And then you can just fold it over. Make sure you still be able to see your score line when you place it in there. I think I like that better because you have that nice folded edge here as well. So I'm just going to do it. And I think I'm just leaving that tape backing there. Maybe I will remove it. So I will be placing this put tape on the bumpy side for your RP, for your piece S, and place it in there. Now if you've already placed your tape, you can easily just put it on top of piece S. That was actually what I was going to do, but I just like it when it's in there. So I'm going to do it. Yep. And then I will be removing this right here using some undo. So that's what I'm going to do before I attach it. So this is going to be right there. And you can use a magnet for your closure. And then piece P and O will go on top of this. And you will hide that with your pattern paper. So I'm just removing the tape backing from the O piece. And right, you want to center that on there. So let's see. I'm just removing my S piece for now because I want to work from this side. Place this to the side for a second. I'm just going to do it like this for now because I don't want it's sticking onto my piece. So I'm just making sure it's centered, making little tick marks to where it needs to be. And you can eyeball this, of course, or you can off-center it if you like it. So make sure you fold it where you can see the gusset from this point of view. And just line it up. So this will be in here. So I'm not sticking it down now because I want to remove that tape backing from the other side, of the tape from the other side. And then that will be just like that. So you have a larger pocket here where you can place a booklet or larger photo mats. And then when you open it up, you will have, this will be closed. And then you will have another pocket right here for some smaller photos. Here you can place a 6x4 and here you can place some cropped 6x4s or some smaller photos as well. So that's the construction of the folio. So now we can continue with the decorating. So be careful, I have a paper clip there and it got catched onto my waterfall. So that's the construction. I hope you liked the folio, and yeah, I'm calling it a folio, but it has a page. But so I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to have the cutting guide for it, you can find it on my website, scrapandcoffee.com. Click on projects, click on the project name, and you will go to the page of the project, and you will find an active download button for the cutting guide. It's a free PDF download, so if you want to make it, go ahead. And I would love to see it. You can also find me on the social media, on Instagram and Facebook. I've put links down in the description box for sneak peeks and other stuff. Yeah, feel free to subscribe to my channel and yeah, enjoy the rest of your day. See you in the next one.